Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome back to another video. Today, I don't actually have anything planned today, so I guess I'm just gonna press record and talk. And also, I just don't want to talk about anime for at least 2 videos. Mainly because I've been just talking about anime way too much. So yeah, I'm gonna keep it anime free for at least a week. But with that being said, I have been watching my anime here and there. I watched an episode a day here and there. I'm currently watching Rent a Girlfriend Season 2. It's not the best thing ever, but it's alright. And I'm also watching Made in Abyss Season 2. So, I think I mentioned this on video once, but I have watched Season 1 a long time ago, so I basically just rewatched all of Made in Abyss. I watched all the movies, and I know the first 2 movies are just recaps, so I wouldn't recommend rewatching them. But there are some new scenes, so I guess if you're into 2 minutes of new content, go ahead and rewatch the movies. And the third movie is pretty good, not gonna lie. But yeah, currently watching Season 2 of Made in Abyss. And Made in Abyss, if you just look at it from its cover, it looks like a goofy ass show, but trust me, it is some of the most messed up shit you'll ever see. And also, guys, check out this quarter zip. Team Leicester, obviously, the Golden Griffins. I don't actually know if they call themselves that, but I know we call ourselves the Griffins. But yeah, I honestly think this looks pretty badass. Check out the back, guys. Check out the back. And look at this colorway, guys. Look at this colorway. If y'all don't know, green is one of my favorite colors, and this color is pretty cool too. But the green looks sick. Basically, yeah, just wanted to show off this quarter zip. Nothing much. I wanted to get my initials on this quarter zip, but I couldn't because I just didn't feel like it. And also, you have to pay God knows how much money for that. But yeah, I figured it wasn't worth it, and I kind of just wanted the quarter zip itself because, not gonna lie, this is pretty badass. It's a little thin though. It's very thin, but it does its job. I can wear it during training, and it works just fine. Yeah. Aside from that, what else can we do? Right. Right. So because it's Chinese New Year, and I didn't get to do shit for Chinese New Year because I'm in the UK. For some reason, people do celebrate Chinese New Year here, but it's not as big as Asian countries, obviously. But I have these fortune cookies in me, and I figured this is a pretty good time to crack them open. I've never had a fortune cookie before, but we can see how good they taste. I heard they don't taste good, but we'll see. Hopefully there is a fortune in this, just like that. We're doing an unboxing of a fortune cookie. I don't really know what the etiquette for eating a fortune cookie is. Do you eat it and then take the paper out of your mouth? Or are you supposed to crack it and then take the fortune out and then read it and then eat it? Or do you eat it first and then read the fortune? I really don't fucking know. But hopefully this doesn't make a huge mess. But yeah. I think you just crack it. Oh, there you go. Easy. I think we'll eat it first because I don't want crumbs to be everywhere. Yeah, just skip ahead if you don't want to watch me eat. But yeah, it tastes pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. It kind of tastes like a this is the most cookie I've ever had. It kind of tastes like you know what a waffle tastes like? It kind of tastes like a waffle, but it's a little different. But it doesn't taste bad. I'll give it that. I give this out of 10, 10 being the best thing I've ever eaten. I'd honestly give this a 6 or a 5. It's actually not bad. Alright, so we got the fortune right here. Alright, let's read it. So the fortune for this cookie is that it is better to be lucky than clever. Is there anything else on the back? No, that's it. Damn, this thing has like the same quote, but it's like translated in other languages. So I guess that's pretty cool. Yeah, fortune for this one is better to be lucky than clever. It's better to be lucky than clever. First off, I humbly disagree, simply because if you're always lucky, then like that's not like replicable, you know? Like if you're clever, you can always like, that knowledge is always going to be inside you, and like you always know when to use it, and you can always consistently use it. But if you're just always consistently lucky, like I don't think you can be consistently lucky. But apparently this fortune is telling me that it is better to be lucky than clever. The more you know, I guess. But in my humble opinion, I just don't think so. I don't think so. Like, yeah, I do not think so. I do not think it is better to be lucky than clever. Sure, it's pretty nice to be clever, but like as a human being, I kind of want something that I can consistently replicate and keep using. Something like cleverness or knowledge, either one. All right, let's move on. Is this like the proper etiquette to like throw these away, or are you supposed to keep them? I'm really not sure, but I'm just gonna throw them away because I don't want to keep it. But overall, the cookie did taste pretty good. It's a little fucking dry, but you know, it does what it does, you know? It's a cookie. So I have another one. I basically just stole these from the reception downstairs because they were giving them out for free. But I didn't want to be an asshole and take like 5, so I only took 2. So we can open a second one. But yeah. Oh, by the way, speaking of today, yeah, we just had I'm wearing this because we had a volleyball game just today, and honestly that was one of the best games we've had ever. Not the best game, obviously. I think our best game was against Northampton, but I think this was a very like we were very strong in this game. Obviously, we played against DMU, De Montfort University. It's a university in Leicester, basically, and we basically won 3-0. And in volleyball, you play like 3 games. If you win 3-0, then you don't play to 5. But you can play 5 games if both teams win 2 games, and then you play the 5th set, which is only up to 15. But today, I think we were pretty good. Like we finished the game in 3 sets. I'm not gonna lie, like before we eat the final fortune cookie, we can just talk about volleyball for a bit. I know some of you guys don't care, but I don't care. I don't care either. But yeah, volleyball. So I think what really made us win this match was that, not to quote Blue Lock here, but we were able to like we were able to turn 0 into 1. So this is our first game without one of the strongest players on our team. He's also from Hong Kong, obviously, repping the boys. But this Hong Kong dude basically moved on to like another team. And so basically our team right now has like no consistently strong player that we can consistently rely on. And basically we just lost one of our best players, if not the best player on our team, the best hitter at least. And like up until that point, like I guess like me and this other guy kind of hit, but then because we both play outside, and outside's like the position that's like the hitting one, the receiving one, and yeah, basically the one that looks the coolest, obviously. Yeah, so we just basically lost our best player, and I'm not gonna lie, I thought we were gonna be a little bit more clumsier, but after reading Blue Lock, this manga changed my perspective on sports. And basically, I tried to use this game as like a way for me to like try and it just sounds so fucking cringe, but this is how I try to like devour someone on the other team, and also devour my own teammates, because I'm not gonna lie, like with our best player gone, like me personally, I low-key think I'm the best player like on the team after after our best player has left, obviously. And I decided that, like, okay, if nobody's gonna take the mantle of best player, because I'm a self-proclaimed best player, or decent player, and I wanted to be the first one that this entire team can rely on, and prove to the guy that left our team that we are able to win without him. Because, like, yeah, I just wanted to prove that we could win without him, and that's what I used this game as. And so it's really hard to describe, because then obviously you can't physically devour, because that sounds like incredibly, like, oddly homosexual. But what I mean by devour, or at least what I took away from Blue Lock as in devour, is that I have to use them, or use them as a decoy for me to score my own goals. And in volleyball, it's a little hard to do that when you have like 6 people on the court. And so, okay, this is gonna sound kind of weird if someone on my team hears this, but basically, whenever I get the first touch, I always make it so that nobody else gets to hit the ball but me. Like, how do I put this? Like, obviously he can set the other people if he wants, but I receive the ball in a way that the setter can only set to me, and I have to use that ball, and everyone else is just my decoy. And then I'll use the set from my setter to score a goal. And I know that sounds so fucking rude and kind of like narcissistic and egotistical, but I score goals. So I mean, I'm not saying that, like, I'm obviously not saying that, like, they're not allowed to score goals and, like, I'm the only person who gets to score. But I'm just saying that I have to be responsible for my own goals, and I have to be a little egotistical if I want to do that. And that's one thing I learned from this game in volleyball today. Obviously it wasn't the best, because, like, my receives in volleyball aren't, like, the best, but I think I've sort of, like, gotten a way to sort of just get the set to come to me consistently, and I think the setter kind of noticed that too. And yeah, and then that's a chemical reaction right there. Isagi X Nagi Seishiro from Blue Lock. Come on! But yeah, basically, that's one thing I tried doing today. And okay, so, and moving on to devouring the other opponent's side. So the only way you can really devour someone on the, like, opposite side of the net is to either devour the person that's pretend this is a net and this is me. You have to either devour the person that's in front of you or the person that's adjacent to you. And one thing I tried to do was I tried to use the person that's just directly opposite of me, which is the opposite of the other team. Because if you look at the volleyball formation, like, it's basically like backward. It's like reflected but backwards. So the opposite hitter does not stand opposite to me. It's the opposite hitter that stands opposite to me. I know that sounds like bullshit when I say this out loud, but these are just volleyball terms. Basically, my position is here, and another person with another position stands across from me. And what I basically try to do is I try to use him as a way to score goals on his own team. So there's 3 ways you can score the ball off a hitter or off a blocker, basically, and that's either hit it off his hands, or hit it off his hands and back onto our court and so we can hit again, or just slam it through his hands when you see a hole. And so one of the things I tried doing is just slamming it into his hands, because then when they block, like, if you hit here, the ball is going down and you're gonna lose a point. But if you hit the fingertips hard enough, the ball is gonna just go flying off and their teammates won't catch it, because we're at a pretty low level. Like, I'm not even gonna, like, lie, like, we play at a pretty low level. I'm in, like, men's 2, so obviously not men's 1 quality games, but it's kind of like a level a little higher, like a level that is a little bit higher than high school. And yeah, basically that's it. But anyways, point is, volleyball game today was fun. We won. And end of story. Let's eat the final fortune cookie, guys. Also, I have exams tomorrow, so let's try and end this video so I can keep studying and hopefully pass the exam tomorrow. Honestly, every exam up until this point has been okay. I'm just gonna open it. Ooh, that was satisfying. Nice. I guess here comes the eating part of the video, part 2. Once again, that was incredibly dry, but a cookie's a cookie, and I'm not really gonna complain. So here's our fortune, and it is: the quieter you are, the more you hear. The fact, I'm actually on the same wavelength on this one. The quieter you are, the more you hear. I guess that's true. It kind of goes. I think I've heard a similar quote that goes kind of like this: "Say nothing, but hear everything." And that's basically like, I guess this sort of goes with like the whole idea of stays quiet, but be able to cut in whenever you need to, and whenever you like, maybe you don't even have to cut in, to be honest. Just shut up. And that is very true. The quieter you are, the more you hear. Unless everyone's quiet, then nobody's gonna hear anything. But that is very factual. I agree with this one. The quieter you are, the more you hear. And this is maybe just a reminder that, like, first seek to understand, then to be understood. I heard this quote from it's one of like the 7 habits of highly effective people. Not sure if you've heard of that book before, but that is one of the 7 habits. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. And that sort of goes with like the philosophy that sometimes just shut the fuck up and listen to what the other person has to say, because everybody wants to talk. Yeah, I don't really think I have to explain that one. Everybody wants to talk, unless, like, even if you're like shy, like everybody does want to talk. Like sometimes, like, even though I'm like a shy piece of shit, I still want to talk, man. Like I want to be included, you know, and like I want to be able to like make connections and all that. But sometimes, like, you just gotta shut the fuck up and listen, and then you can talk. And I think that's what the habit of seek first to understand and to be understood comes from. Yeah. Let me see. And so I have this book here that's called Daily Reflections for Highly Effective People. And this is not the actual book, like 7 effective habits or 7 habits of highly effective people, but it's sort of like a daily reflection thing, where like every day there's a different reflection. So like right now it's January 25th, and so I'm on January 25th, and I've been basically just reading this since the beginning of the year. And yeah, like sometimes the reflection just gives you something to think about, and especially on days where like you feel like you aren't really doing much, and you think days where you think like, I don't know, days where you're just not like feeling it. I'm sure you know what I mean. And then I just read the reflection, and it just gives me something to think about. And even if I don't have anything going on, like, it's always nice to have something to reflect about, like at the beginning of the day or at the end of it, depending when you read it. I usually read this like when right before I have something to do where I can think. So maybe I'll read I'll read my daily reflection before I brush my teeth. I'll read my daily reflection before riding my bike to, I don't know, like the nearby Morrisons or whatever. But basically, I don't know, it's just good mind practice, and it's always good to reflect on anything, to be honest. I don't even need to be reflecting on my life. Sometimes I think it's okay to just reflect on an idea. Like, it doesn't even have to, like, relate to me sometimes. It's just nice to it's just nice reflecting, to be honest. Or even just thinking. Like, you don't even have to reflect, just think. It's always just nice, being able to think. What's that quote? A person who thinks a lot has nothing to think about but thoughts. I'm not even sure if that's the quote, but that's just what this like little conversation reminded me. So yeah, let's just review the 2 fortunes that we had. The quieter you are, the more you hear, and it is better to be lucky than to be clever. I'm not really sure what that means, but yeah, I guess it would be nice to be lucky, but I don't know. I'm not really a luck guy. And speaking of luck, I gotta bring it back to Blue Lock once again. Luck is only presented to those who are ready for it. So yeah, I guess it is probably better to be lucky. But also at the same time, I think it'd also be pretty cool to be clever as well. Simply because the luck doesn't seem to be consistently replicable. And yeah, maybe only in the crucial moments, like the manga Blue Lock states, only in a critical moment can a hero be born. And that's usually where the concept of luck comes in, and you gotta be prepared for it. So yeah, but I believe that is, oh god, my computer's filled with crumbs, gross. But that's basically it. I hope you guys like the quarter zip, guys. Tell me how sexy I look in the comments down below. But basically that's it. I have an exam tomorrow, probably the hardest one so far. And honestly, every exam, like up until this point, has been like, I'm not gonna lie, like pretty fucking easy. But I think this exam tomorrow is probably the hardest one out of all of them. So I'm just gonna do a little bit more revision, and I'm sure I'm gonna be fine tomorrow. Whatever. Bye, guys.